Adán Hernandez here today. But before he starts, just a few quick announcements. Rarefied Light is open for submissions through June 4th with our juror Aline Smithson this year. So be sure to apply for that. We do have next week our 40th anniversary party here at Aquila Space in Anchorage, as well as the University Pub in Fairbanks, going at 5 o'clock for each location. Here on the Anchorage side, we're going to have a print swap. So bring a print if you'd like, or bring prints or something else to share for like a portfolio review. Those will both be going on. There will be some food and some drinks. And I think
And same thing on the
over in
Fairbanks side. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's all really the announcements that we have here. So this is now Adán.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Mike Conti. Thanks, Aquila Space, Jovel, Young. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. This is pretty awesome. I'm really excited to be here and talking with you all via Zoom and everyone who showed up on a Tuesday night. My name is Adán Hernandez. You might remember me from such works as the People's Republic of Fairview, The People's Republic of Fairview, Volume 2, Trash Houses of Fairview, and Disposable Anchorage. This is Umerica, and Something Nice. Recently, I also was able to collaborate with Julie O'Malley and some other people, and we did Chattermarks Volume 6, I believe, and I had my work was featured very nicely there, and I'm pretty happy how that turned out. I'm born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska. I grew up in glorious Midtown Anchorage. You can see it there. Pretty spectacular place for a young child to be. I was raised inside a taco bus, a food truck. That's my humble beginnings there. Going around with my father and my mother, various places. We did car shows, dog shows, motocross, and we were at what used to be called the Kincaid motocross track. It's now called Jodhpur. And among other things, this is kind of one of my earliest inspirations was like all the junk cars that were down there on the bluff. Now there's a single track thing, and it's pretty well used area these days. But kind of then there was like a lot of junk. People just kind of toss their cars down there, like back in the 60s and 70s. And growing up in the 80s, I would just kind of wander down the bluff and just kind of explore all these ruins that were down there, like all the junk cars. And I would always go. It was kind of my special spot, and I would go back here often. And I think it was one of the first places I went after moving back from Seattle, and took pictures down there and tried to like kind of document it, because I kind of knew that one day it would, somebody was, I don't know, I guess I was hopeful that they'd clean it up one day, but like kind of at the same time, I really appreciated this kind of like magic that was happening down there. So we can see that there. Yeah. Young's helping with some technical stuff here. Thanks. This is my bicycle. This is a 3-speed Schwinn racer. For me personally, the best way to take pictures is on bicycle. It's my favorite way to get around. It's easy to get on and off. It's quiet. I just like riding around. It's kind of like my time. It's where I'm at peace and like where I'm happy, my happy spot. And I'm a little annoying to probably ride bicycles with, because I'm always stopping and taking pictures. So, oh, what happened here? There we go. That's one of my other bikes. And another one. Behind me, you can see the Great Wall of Vodka. This is a local man, Ron Aleva, owner of Grubstake Auctions. He had somebody pick up all the vodka bottles that were like kind of in the area there. Like this is down on 3rd and Post Road by what was formerly known as the Brother Francis Shelter. And so he collected these bottles. I'm not sure over how long, but he collected them for like at least a year, I want to say. And he kind of made this big art piece. So go Ron Aleva. Fairview. One of my big projects, my kind of longest projects has been the People's Republic of Fairview. And the People's Republic of Fairview kind of started as a joke. It was I was traveling around in Ireland and I saw a t-shirt in this place called Cork, or pronounced Cark over there. And it's I saw a t-shirt that said the People's Republic of Cark, and it had a guy in a spacesuit with a flag. And I thought that was pretty great. And this is during the MySpace era. And so I think I was probably just signing up for MySpace, and when it asked me where I was from, I wrote down the People's Republic of Fairview, and I spelled it with a K. A few years later, some other people like kind of used it, and which was I thought was awesome, but they did it with a C, and you might have seen some of those T-shirts around with the bicycle on it. So that was kind of a fun era, but more wall of vodka there, Fairview. For me, I lived in Fairview for 16 years, and it's a pretty unique place. It's Anchorage. It's nearby downtown, but it's kind of its own special little thing. It's like, I guess, always on the edge of maybe being gentrified, but never quite making it there. There's been a lot of talk about connecting the highways in a way that will kind of like reduce the traffic and take the two main, Gamble and Ingra, down from 4 lanes down to 3, and kind of once again like unifying the neighborhood into like more of a walker friendly place. But I think it's still some years out from that happening. Some of my favorite shots here. I call these guys the 3 amigos. There's they just never moved. I lived there for 16 years and I never saw them move. Alexander's Body Shop. It's a pretty famous place over there. Alexander's been there since the 60s, I want to say. He specializes in Corvettes. And I really enjoy what happens here. We got the Cars Quality Center, known as the People's Cars. Some more here. A lot of this stuff here was like early Instagram. And I was this is kind of where a lot of people found me, like back in the beginning, like back in 2012. And I was a little shocked at first, like how into it people were. It was kind of took me by surprise. It was just kind of stuff that I was just kind of playing around with. It was just kind of fun for me. I don't really have any photographic training or any, I've never taken any classes or anything. I've taken some art classes in the past, but as far as photography goes, I've just kind of been self-taught. And I've always liked taking pictures. It's kind of just been I did point and shoot mostly, like a lot of us did, and switched to digital, and then eventually switched to iPhone, and then came the Instagram era, and people really took it seriously, and I was it kind of blew me away, like how serious they took it. And I got into doing shows, gallery shows, and somebody I met who I believe was a photo professor from University of UAA Southeast, and they told me I should get a real camera and just keep doing what I'm doing. So I took their advice and kind of actually learned how to use an SLR eventually. Ghost cars are some of my favorite, like any car that's covered in like any kind of like covering, plastic, blue tarps, white, anything. Big fan. Love these guys. Neighborhood dogs, just kind of free. Mattress blog was another thing. I'm known more for the couches, but I can never turn down a good mattress, especially when they have a nice pattern to them. Some local wildlife there. Some couches are lonely, another. This house was a kind of a favorite of mine. I always had it was a real goal to try to get it like with the right light and with that tree, because the tree really pops with the turquoise. And that house is now a parking lot, so that was the best that I got on that one. This is a message for everyone from Fairview: love yourself, love others. This bus down here, like this is a popular photo opportunity for like a lot of Anchorage street artists, and I've been kind of taking pictures of this same bus for like 10 years. Like I kind of look back on there, I'm like, oh, okay, it's been 10 years I've been taking pictures of that thing. This is a great one. This is right around the corner. I happened to be walking by and I heard this rumble and I said, "What's that noise?" And then this snowball like crashed down and exploded out of the gates. Some more typical of me kind of work there. I'm a big fan of finding light. I had a hard time coming here today because the light was so good. I was like, maybe they'd be cool if I just took some pictures and came in after dark. But I stuck with it, and here I am. This is actually still in Fairview. A lot of people don't know, but yeah, still technically in Fairview. We're down at Lucky Wishbone. Goes all the way down to Third. So you guys just learned something. The Cars Quality Center. A shoe. This is a lot of the houses were bought up by developers and kind of turned into like these nicer little, and there was a big wave of these things getting demolished. Here we are. We're next to the Black Angus Inn over there. That's a favorite of mine. A leaning couch. There. I like a red couch. I like red chairs. I like red couches. We have a candid of John the Flower Guy. May he rest in power. I like this scene a lot because you get the Black Angus Inn, and then also you get the locals just kind of like ambling about. He was always a bit camera shy, but I found that he would pose for a picture if somebody else was posing with him. So I did manage to get some shots over him over the years. I like this one a lot too. I like the indoor jungle with the outside snow. Pink mattresses are always a good time. Sunsets with crash cars. It's always a winning combo. Spirits of Alaska. That was a kind of a game. Like when that closed, that was kind of a thing. Like it was a big deal. I don't know. There was a lot of problems in the neighborhood that may or may not have been connected to that particular liquor store. I can't say that the neighborhood is too different now, but that was a thing, and surprised nobody salvaged that sign. It's it's kind of cool sign. A nice sunset of Fairview. We got little basketball hoop over there. This is Tyrone's. Nothing says Fairview like Tyrone's. This is like one of the local mechanics there. He also passed away during the pandemic, and I'm not sure what's going on with that building now, but he always had a lot of cool cars out front there, and it was nice because I lived like nearby, so it was always fun to kind of go by there. Okay. Let's see, slowing down there. Sorry, I'm waiting for pictures to catch up with me. Anyway, this is on B Street. B Street's kind of a fun little hidden place over there. Kind of goes in between, I want to say 15th and 11th Avenue. And there's like just kind of like a little fun area back there. Been doing couch blog off and on for some years. This is actually this is the first one that was actually had the hashtag couch blog. I've had pictures of couches before that, but this was like kind of the one that really caught my imagination and like kind of inspired me to kind of just take more pictures of couches in snow or just kind of out of place. And I don't know, I just really like the beatness of this, like the faded. I mean, here's some just perfectly fine, you can sit on that thing. There's like a little tenderness here. This is outside of Fairbanks. Or Fairview. This was a good one too. This is like the Eagle Street couch. I didn't get quite as dedicated to that one, but I'm still waiting. We got a bit of a lag. I'm going too fast, maybe. More Eagle Street. Hello, more people showing up. That's good. There we go. We got Eagle Street couch at night. This was like a favorite shot of mine. Like we got the tripod. I'm kind of a lazy photographer, so I actually did get the tripod out for this one. So That was good effort there. Daytime shot, a little flare. Sorry for everybody at home, but you guys here can see it in real time, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right, good. Then let's see, we're gonna speed it up a little bit or slow it down. Speed up, slow down, slow down. More couches. This is also down there by the bus. This couch is probably still that couch has actually been there a while too, so I should go check on that one. This was another two favorite of mine. This is like kind of just down the street from the people's cars. And I always loved Fairview. There was always just something on every corner. Like, whether it was like, Snowbird eating a mattress or just like, chicken bones, like kind of like next to a bottle of whiskey on the street. Got that there. Some of the things I like best about these is like when you can kind of capture a scene and put yourself in it. Like we have the crazy horse down below, and we got like kind of like we got like a little sunrise happening there too. And I don't know, I just like imagine somebody like just dragged that lazy boy there and just decided to like make a night out of it, or and I think that was probably a good time there. I had a good time like just taking pictures of it, so I think that they probably enjoyed it as well. All right, we're back at Eagle Street. I might have double tapped on the Eagle Street. I apologize. I did try to really curate this thing, so I apologize if it kind of goes on a bit or we have any doubles, but it turns out I have like a lot of pictures, which I kind of think a lot of us do now, like in the digital age. Like when I lost 50,000 pictures one time, and it's crazy because like I still have like probably 3 times that now, and I'm like, that just would have been, you would have to be a crazy person to have that kind of pictures like once upon a time, like they would have said, yeah, and then after he died we found over 150,000 pictures like just there in his house, and who knows what he was up to. Okay, so here we've arrived at the Ingra Couch Diary. So this is something I did back in 2016 where I took a picture of the same couch every day for about 60 days, I want to say. And so, I was tempted not to put them all in, but I'm putting them all in for you. And it was good timing too, because like you kind of go back, like it snowed right away. Like, and it was, it was a good snow year. We got snow right away there. And so there was like a little bit of change kind of happening every day. Like you got like freeze and thaws, and it was just great. A couple things about this, like that I don't really regret. But I did shoot this one all on iPhone just because I started it on iPhone and I wanted to keep the consistency. So I did my best to kind of just frame it the same every day as in portrait mode and then go out. Although I did go back and take other pictures, like, with like, I think I was shooting with my Nikon by then. So I did kind of make an effort to go back and take better pictures of it. But as far as the overall project went, I really valued consistency on it. Like, or at least I gave myself the rule that it had to be in portrait mode. Oh, here we got a little Wii on the couch there, and that's that's how it's Fairview. It's pure. There you go. It's kind of dry now. It's like the next day. Night. Clouds. Thaws. So I mean, it was pretty fun because like in general, like I think this is like state land because it's like still empty, but there's talk of putting a community garden there now. So, but they haven't started yet. But I think I want to say that I saw a sign on there that they were gonna do that. So, that would be really cool. I'm always rooting for Fairview. I did move to Government Hill. It's gonna be 5 years this summer since I've left Fairview, but it's it's always in my heart because it was just really such an inspiration to me, like artistically, that just, I still can't, I thought this was, I did break the rule one day and I spliced a day and a night shot together because I had gone out, I thought that was cool. So, maybe somebody else thinks that could. So here's another one. So I actually did, I used this for the centerfold. I couldn't find a copy. I wanted to bring a copy for the people that were here. I did bring some zines for you all to check out, and you're welcome to like kind of paw at those and, to your heart's content. But I was not able to find my physical copy of of the Ingrid Couch Diary. But yeah, this was the centerfold and I was real proud of that. Right there. Here's like another one where I kind of I wasn't sure where I was going to fit this into, but I did kind of go in and take other shots too. But, for better or for worse, I gave myself rules. Oh, we got a little sneak in there. Somebody snuck in there. Yeah. Anybody catch that? Yeah, you awake? All right. There we go. Like another with the zoom, gotta like that stacking there. Just kind of tap real quickly here. Getting close to the end. I would kind of like to revisit this. I did this and I think at one point I had the intention of kind of making it more like a diary, like recording the day's events, like not just for me, but like what was going on like in the world at large. But maybe I don't know, maybe there'll be a second edition one day if I, get around to that. And then oh yeah, somebody like kind of got up there like I don't know if that's like, like a dog or something. But then we got pants, like the pants showed up after, so that's kind of funny. 2 pants no less. So it's like, always bring a friend, buddy system. It's flawless. Oh, okay, cool. We got some zines getting passed around. So everybody on the Zoom should be jealous right now. This one turned out nice. See, there's those 2 couches again. So this is a little bit out of order because, yeah, they're like less known. Yeah, and they kind of got like I said, I did make an attempt at curating this and kind of putting stuff in order. So, I do care, kind of, There we go. So we made it through the couch diary, the Ingrid Couch Diary, excuse me. And I'm a big fan of Anchorage. I'm a big fan of like local landmarks and businesses and signs. And I'm always sad to kind of see stuff go. And so this is one that always kind of stuck out here. It's like when the Fireweed Theater closed, and it was just one thing that when I get my best shots or some of my best, it's like when I've been willing to kind of just turn the car around and get out. And that's easier said than done sometimes because usually when I go out with the intention of taking pictures, I'm on my bicycle, but sometimes you see the moment and it's like, stop or go. So I'm glad I stopped for this one because that was a big one for me. I think a lot of us that grew up here had like a lot of memories of the Fireweed Theater. And I mean, who could forget the Rug Doctor of Alaska? It's also, a local favorite. We got Party World. Party World's still there. I'm acting like it's not, but I don't think they have the flags. Maybe something's different at Party World. So, Air's still there, but like, I think they changed some of their sign. We got the church. This church lights up now, so that's pretty cool. Oh, pardon. We got sushi over here. I also like a lot of Asian restaurants, like just kind of like the style of the American Asian restaurant. I think is kind of a thing of beauty. And this one's always been a favorite of mine. It's also a weed shop. I have some now, but that's something I think later on I'll get to on the slideshow is like that's a weed shop now. It will be the theme. This one's not, but like there's like a lot of stuff in here. Like that's a weed shop now. Ralph Sports Bar, classic. I like yeah, I think I probably propped myself on the hood or something to kind of hold still because like I said, I'm pretty lazy about that tripod. This place doesn't exist anymore too. I forget I went there one. I don't remember the name of this one, but it's no longer there. There we go. It's you can see the Hangul on the side, but it has specializes in Cantonese, Szechuan, Mandarin cuisine. This building's also gone, but it was always this was a favorite of mine. I took a lot of pictures of this one over the year too. Like I just kind of tried to like document the deterioration from the outside and what you can see in there. Bernard Builder Supply Store on Sears. Yeah. This place is a weed shop now. Not a weed shop yet, but I think they're gonna get a car wash there at the Sea Galley, the good old Sea Galley. We got crab legs, anybody? Chuck E. Cheese is still there, but you know, like different signage. Surf Laundry. This is some pretty cool artwork over here. Rejoy did that, and she's pretty awesome. You might see some of her work around town. Blockbuster Video, before, you know. I really didn't want to just get like the Blockbuster. I wanted something to kind of like place it to, because it was one thing having a picture of Blockbuster, but I kind of wanted to place it something as Anchorage. Penguin Court's oh, this is some film we got early into the film here, but like this is kind of just like going back to my theme of like places that, you know, are no longer with us, like but still in our hearts maybe. We got the old cars on Northern Lights there, Midtown, now the REI. I kind of missed some of the before, like when everyone had their own individual sign before, like everything got, you know, kind of homogenized there. Like it was pretty fun little mini mall there. I'm a big fan of snow piles. I take a lot of pictures of just big old snow piles, and I will pull over for those too. This is kind of going back to the, you know, themes with the view, cart with the view, chair with the view, like living on the edge. Here's a sample. Some of you here got to see pictures from the trash houses at Fairview. They used to, everyone in Fairview had like these cool little huts like in the backyard, like next to the alley, and they would like put their trash out there until they came out with the carts sometime around 2014, 13. And after that, like a lot of those kind of went away, like they deteriorated, they rotted, or people just took them out. I actually made a greenhouse out of mine and dragged it to the front yard because that seemed logical at the time. I like a good tire track too with my snow piles. And it's, you know, when you get the level merengue. Got Mountain View. What's the difference between Mountain View and Fairview? Just the view. Little Sears. This is Amazon now. Not a weed shop, but it's Amazon now. It's a Amazon fulfillment center. I don't know what they call that thing, but yeah, it's a big old warehouse now. Oh, I snuck some vacation shots in there for you too. So we have a couch here in Hawaii and Oahu. I just, yeah, another one of those things where I just pulled over. I'm like, yep, gotta get that. Any kind of decrepit car. Beautiful side of the island there. It's the east coast of the island, kind of like the more wet side over there, and it's like Jurassic Park. It's kind of amazing. And then, you know, they got like their own old stuff that's kind of just, you know. So I take it on the road. You know, we can go, you know, scenic places like Homer, great beach junk in Homer. It's you know, kind of really gets me going. Right after I took this picture, there's this lady walking by. She's like, "That's such a man picture to take." And I was like, "Well, busted. You got me." I'm just creeping on some fat bike. There was a fat bike race that day, like unbeknownst to us, but that was pretty cool because like I like the scale there with the zoom, like he kind of really shows off in that way that you don't normally get. I always liked a good berm. I was working on a berm collection about 15 years ago, I want to say. And then there was this 8-year-old who did a berm show at Snow City. I was like, damn, he beat me. Well played, kid. Well played. But I don't let that stop me from taking, you know, a good berm shot. I think that's one thing is like you shouldn't be discouraged of taking pictures of something because somebody else took pictures of something. Because if you saw the Eiffel Tower, you would take a picture, like, wouldn't you? And everybody else already did it. This is a good spot over here. I like this guy. He didn't chase. Well, he never chased me off, but he has come out and spoken to me. I do my best to stay off people's property. I really, don't want to get in people's space. Well, this is a good one too. This is like kind of the alley behind Fourth Avenue Theater. You got a creepy door with some hand marks on the side there. So rest in peace, Fourth Avenue Theater also. This is like another one, like I turned around for this one just because like I was really just feeling the misty morning with, it's like I think this is probably like an April kind of morning and it's like dusty and cold and I was just really feeling like the marvelous Midtown Anchorage thing happening here with the limousine and love it. I went out to Palmer one time, more than once, but we got the Peking Garden, with the mountains in the background. They also have like abandoned cushions out there too. So this is a fun spot. This is like over, I want to say in Birchwood. Like been driving by there for years and I had no idea like there was like this like fun little hidden stuff back there. Got like little, I don't know if that stayed on there. That probably fell off really soon after that. The couch right there. Got some long exposures. I don't do a lot of long exposures, but I really like this one. And then it's funny what you think will kind of hit and what won't sometimes. Like what like gets you excited and like what gets other people excited. Cause like this one, like for me, was always like, oh, I love this. I love this picture. It's like Pac-Man gobbling up like, snow berms. But I don't know if everyone like when I took it to when I put it in a show, it was not like really the one that really got the most attention there. That was great. I don't know if this wall is still there. That was a pretty cool wall that they had over there, also Midtown. Got the Northern Lights. This is they changed the face on this one, so that's some good font going on up there for the Northern Lights. It's like pretty classy. So we're back in Fairview now, and this house for years. I don't know if any of you guys know or remember the book Johnny's Girl. There was actually a TV movie based on it. It's about like this girl and her dad was a gangster growing up in Anchorage. Yeah, Kim Rich. Yeah, exactly. Yep. She spoke to my high school class like when I was a sophomore or something. And she lived like across the street from one of my friends. So I got to speak with her a few times. But anyways, I had mistakenly believed that this was the house for like years and years and years and years. And it wasn't until I actually read her full book, which was not that like within like the last 5 years that I've actually read the book all the way through, that I discovered that was not her house. It was actually like a few blocks away. But like for years, I was like, yeah, that's the house right there. Just like, yep, darn tootin'. But that house is gone. But that was also always like one of my favorites of the Fairview. Had just like right next to the pawn shop. A lot of, a lot of changes. Anchorage is the same, but still changes. That DeLorean's still there. That DeLorean ain't going nowhere. It's great. I think I love that about this place over here. This is from Seattle. I just threw it in because it was interesting when I was going through pictures that this is from 2018, and we got like a lady with the mask and a big mural there. So I think it's maybe a pollution thing more. I can't tell because the big pollution trucks are in front blocking it, but I'm guessing it's like some sort of pollution thing. But I just kind of thought that was interesting that we had somebody like a mural with somebody wearing a mask that would be that this would become so common in about 18 months from this picture. Another Seattle alley kind of thing happening there. Now we're back in Anchorage. I'm all over the place. I threw this in because like I don't do a lot of these, but like I just like Frosty Balto with the Hilton in the background. And we're back in Fairview. We got the Twin Dragon, Mongolian barbecue. You know the one. And then we have the Shriners. That's Shriners. Right? No, that's not. It's the Masons. No, right? It's Masons. It's secret. You can't go in, or maybe you can. I don't know. I can't go in there. I don't think. Maybe I don't know. So we have the Arctic Inn Motel. They finally got rid of the sign that says HBO and phone. So I don't know if you get those things anymore. Maybe I don't know, but I'm hoping the price is good, so you can find out. We have the Oceana Video there. This is like kind of very close where I grew up, and that thing was always there. It was there for years and years and years, and it finally closed. Maybe during the pandemic, I guess it closed. It was right next to the pizza. There was a pizza place next door, Hollywood Pizza, and I, probably put that guy's kids through college. Got a little Mad Myrna's, like on the edge of Spinard here, the Northern Light Center. They fixed the sign a couple times over the years, but I don't know. I've always been really excited, like when they fix the lights. I'm like, oh yes, they fixed the lights. Thank you. Like, cause it's like, for me, it's like one of those like kind of like, local landmarks. It's just kind of like, I'm like, I'm like, save the clock tower, just like, protect that thing. But sometimes I like it more when it's not working. Like maybe they can have a switch where it kind of just like twinkles or something. Like I think that would be pretty cool. Like, oh, another vacation shot. Like we got Pelicanos, food and dream. You can see that there. I'm a big we got a toilet shot here. This actually hangs in my bathroom. I was real proud of this one too. I just, I was like, I think it was the pink, because like I just don't see too many pink toilets. So it's one of those things like you just kind of like walk by like one of those places in Mexico, and like they just kind of like it's like open, like like they're renovating, or it's just like almost abandoned. That's kind of boring. There we go. We got some Anchorage here. Like kind of like I love Anchorage. It's dirty, but it's ours. But like it's beautiful too. Like it's still beautiful. It's like we got like these kind of fun like opportunities to kind of get out. Oh, we're back down in the Fairview in the industrial zone here. I've been, this is like another one of those things where I just kind of try again. Like I'm like trying to capture this thing. I have this one also, like a summertime picture that has like a lot of fireweed, and that really does it for me. This is either more about snow or the building, but I think the combo, trying to get the scale. We got a Rondi shot. So this is fun because I believe, unbeknownst to me at the time, this is like the last year that they had this particular ride with the lights on it the way it is, because they have all been switched to LEDs. Well, there's still like maybe two rides down there that don't have LEDs, but this is, I'm glad that I got this one, because like it was like, oh, I got Oceana. Like this is like another one. Like I always had a hard time trying to get this one just right, like with the light. And that's one of those things that like kind of I obsess over it constantly, is like, where's that light going to be at this time tomorrow, so that way I can be there and get that shot. And that's what keeps me up at night. Another one with the scale here. Like I really love these shots where where people are just ants, and there we are next to the giant thing that could just, calve and crush us all. There it is again. Did you miss it? No? All right. I love appliances. I like all the tossed out things, especially like when they've been there a while. To be fair, I think they're remodeling or something, but like some of this stuff like kind of hangs out for a while, and I just kind of like it. There we go. This is the one I really wanted, because this one actually has the still water. There we go. That's like it. And you can really appreciate like the reflection there at the bottom. That's the one I really wanted. Oh, there you are again. We have a very famous lighthouse there in the background, but like this is one of those things, and I'm going to kind of come back to this where I see a subject, but then I do a 360. I look all around. I'm like, what can I do with this subject? What can I place it in? What kind of context can I place this in to kind of, give myself a little bit of a unique perspective or story here? And this is kind of like one of those cases where I kind of was looking around. I was like, oh, okay. I like what's happening here with Rusty Barrel. And, this is like a time warp here. This is probably only 5 years old, but like just that car right there in Spinard it just really took me back to a time like maybe even before my youth. Like, I don't know if I was somebody else before, but like it was a real time warp seeing this car there, and I had to get that. Nothing better than a couch in the mist. Devil's Heart, fuck you. This is yeah, I don't know, somebody messed up, I guess, you know. I bet he'll think twice before he goes to Good Time Charlie's again. We got the lunch buffet with Sad Bar. Classic from Seward. This is from Nanilchik. It is not that bus from that you might be thinking from that famous movie. But it is another bus. But you wouldn't be able to sleep in there because as I recall, this thing is like packed to the ceiling with all who knows what. And you probably have to, you know, and it's not that far off the highway, so you probably wouldn't, you know, be too excited to sleep in there anyways, or tell your friends. So we're going back to placing your subject here. And so this is like one of those things where I pulled over, I saw the car, I was going on an overnight somewhere like out past Willow, and I remember seeing the car on the way, and I was like, I'm definitely pulling over on the way back to get that car. And there was other cool cars next to it too. But I was there and I'm taking the pictures. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. This is working. But I'm like, but what else is around here? And I kind of realized when I went up that I can kind of get like this other kind of view and like kind of give like this more dreamlike kind of picture that's like just kind of it's I don't know, it's pleasing to me in that way. So I when I have time, I try to, you know, take a look around what's behind me, sometimes more as much as what's in front of me. We got more road shots from the Delta Food Mart. I took the long way to Fairbanks one time just because I could, and that was cool. I was trying to find, there's a glacier over there, and I drove right by it. You know, I was very excited about the glacier, and then like by the time I realized that I had passed it, I was not turning around. But I did see the Delta Food Mart, so you can tell your friends about that. This is quite an explosion too. This is like kind of near the snow dump that's up in Mountain View from about 4 years ago. And I don't know, some of you know, like here in Anchorage, we have like kind of like you know, a lot of unhoused people that are like, you know, living in camps, and it's been going on a long time, like longer than I think a lot of people want to admit, because I have memories of a kid like going around. I grew up in Midtown, like I said before, and before Walmart was there, that used to just be kind of like an empty spot, like wooded area, like, you know, nothing big, but like, you know, like smaller willows and that kind of stuff. And as a kid, I would wander around there and like kind of stumble into homeless camps like back then in the 80s. And I mean, it's nothing like it is now, don't get me wrong, but like it was happening then too. So I don't think it's, you know, some things are just not changing. I I started to get back into the film thing, like I want to say about 5, 6 years ago, and I was having a lot of fun with that. But it wasn't until I started developing at home over the pandemic, and it had a lot to do with Keller's going out of business. They retired and sold off a lot of their equipment. But it wasn't until like I started developing at home that I really took off with it. And a lot of it's just like the process that I like. I kind of get a kick out of the whole chemicals, like mixing and going around. Hey, more vacation shots. But I think that kind of changed things for me. It was like actually like the developing at home. It like gave me like I really kind of fell in love after that. It was I think part of it was, you know, I had already had a hard time just going to Colors like on an average day because they keep the same hours I do. So I had a hard time like kind of rushing over there, like trying to get there before they close, and you know, so I wouldn't have to wait till like Monday to go back again. And then after they closed, I did try a couple like mail out things, but as an Alaskan, I I did not enjoy the mail in process. It was not friendly for me. Yeah. Um, Although I hear somebody is developing again, once again at Stewart's. So that is pretty cool. If you are taking any film photography and do not develop at home, you can go check them out there at Stewart's. This is like stuff. Oh, so this is one of my favorite ones. This is like one I was I did a project for Humanities Arts Forum, Alaska Humanities, Alaska Humanities. I did a project for them last year, and they kind of gave me free reign. Well, kind of. They wanted something on water, and I said, "How about like breakup? Like how about like frozen water?" So they kind of gave me the go ahead to kind of just like kind of document like um, ice and snow here in Anchorage, just kind of. And this is like one of the ones like behind Northway Mall. I have a whole bunch of shots of the Northway Mall too, like kind of documenting that throughout the years. But this is like from the parking lot stuff that just kind of got plowed in. That famously became like a huge dumping ground last year. So I think they have it all blocked off now. You can't even get back there. This is Mountain View. More berms. Blue tarp's great. I just like the way that you get the snow on top here. Like really gives you the shape there. So I got some, here's like, I'm getting a little experimental here. Got some color reversal film. I think that's what it was. I don't know. I got some funny film that was supposed to be like, but that I could develop normal. I forget. Somebody could help me through it with that one. But this is like something that I kind of messed around with, like a little experiment there. Give you that really washed up. Oh, there he is again. Summertime. Oh, there's that couch, huh? Told you it's been there a while. This is the bank. I have a lot. You'll see this like kind of later too, and I'll kind of talk more about this bank. I got a lot of memories there. This has been blocked a lot, like over the years. This is over, like I think the person who used to do Rays, like lives there or owns that house, and they have like a lot of this particular truck has been like blocked a lot over the years, and like I was always waiting for like the day that nothing was like in front of it. So like I finally got my chance. Oh, I see on a video. There, this is 4th Avenue, like right before. This is like the summer before or like the spring before the pandemic, and it is like popping. It is like popping. You got like 4th Avenue Theater going off, and like that was kind of a big tourist year. We got a little beach couch. This is here in the Olympic Peninsula. No, not here. This is on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. So I'm always happy to see like a little of that on the road. We got like another here. We got like a little deer. I don't know if you can see the deer on the right. I like it when wildlife kind of finds its way into like urban atmospheres. This is like kind of behind Costco, East Side Costco. This is a favorite of mine. I don't know if you guys can read that. It says "Good riddance." This place is getting torn down, and I guess somebody is pretty happy about that. So I got a story from somebody. I was actually here. Actually, I had a show here about 5 years ago, and at Aquila Space, and somebody saw that and they bought it because they had a boyfriend that used to live there, and they did not have a good breakup with that guy, and so they were like, "Yes, good riddance." Up here, I don't know how long. I mean, how are we doing on time, Young?
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, it's the three amigos again. But I lied. He did move. See, he's like turned around now. Here we go. Another use of the zoom, kind of trying to like kind of just get the stack effect. Another ghost car. There we go. Good old 4th Avenue Theater. And I always pull over for like an abandoned cabin. I thought this was good because I like the postcard and I really like the car a lot because it's like it's almost kind of like the Griswolds. Like it really gives me that National Lampoon's Vacation vibe. Here's another one that like here we go. Oh, and we're back on film. So this is my wife Sandra and my daughter Lupe. They are here live in the audience with us. So I'm happy they could be here with us. And I got really lucky with the shot because somebody gave me a rangefinder, and I've slowly been getting over my fear of rangefinders. I have a hard time with them because what you see is not what you get, and it's really easy to do dumb stuff like leave your lens cap on, and as a casual like me, it's something I've slowly been getting over. So I felt really lucky with this role because I think this was actually the first role I shot on it that somebody in when they gave it to me. So, and this one was actually taken from a moving car, and like it still kind of blows my mind that like I was actually able to get the shot, like the come out the way it did. Got more road trip, the cars. Here, we got the nail chick over here. And we got that there. Little chair. Nothing says fun like an abandoned hotel. Okay, so we're on to the happy accidents portion of my talk here. And sometimes you mess up a roll, and you know, things happen, whether it's your fault or the camera's fault. I've messed up tons of stuff. This is just like the beginning of the roll. So this is not like a major mistake here, but I do always like those first shots. But here we have a shot from this is from Baja, Mexico. And what had happened is I shot the roll, and then I had unknowingly like damaged the roll, like winding it up, and I turned it into colors, and they were like, "Nah, man." They're like, they're like, "No, you this roll's messed up. We can't load it on the thing. It's like it's all torn. Like there's like they're like maybe there's like these guys in Portland. You can mail it to them, and they can do it for you." And I'm like, "Okay." And I got online and I talked to these guys in Portland, with all the intention of sending it off, but like I never did. And so when they gave it back to me, the roll was actually wrapped in tin foil. And they were like, "Yeah, just keep it wrapped in there, because if, you know, like gets any light, it's fucked, you know, so just, yeah, good luck there." And it kind of sat in a drawer and moved around. It sat in tin foil for like another year. And eventually, after I started developing at home, I was like, well, I'm just going to try to do it. So I did manage to kind of get it loaded onto the roll, but there was a bit of light damage. And this is like one of my favorite ones right here, because I'm like, I really love how this one turned out. So you can't duplicate that, or maybe you can, but I can't right now because I don't know how. But I really get a kick out of the happy accidents that happen when you're with film. So we talked about my last show. I had the last show here, like kind of around this time. Maybe it was like April, or I don't know. It was like 2019 was the last time I actually did a gallery show, because we had the pandemic, and then I just, hey, life happens. But so I thought that'd be kind of fun, because I was going through pictures and I found like little shots of Aquila space. So these are like from the disposable camera that I just had in my pocket that I think was like pretty expired, but it's pretty fun that we got that. Look, still says Nordstrom's across the street. Government Hill. That was a fun. I enjoyed this house a lot too, because they always had a lot of cool junk there for a while until they tore it down. I want to give a shout out to Ryan Chernikoff. This is one of my good buddies. He's the one who actually got me to take the photos from Instagram and put them on a wall. He convinced me that I should do that, and I am eternally grateful for him doing that. And we did a lot of shows, and we had a lot of fun going out shooting pictures together. And he's in Atlanta now, but shout out to you, Ryan. You were a good buddy. So I don't always have the courage to ask people if I could take their pictures. It's something I'm still working on. It's like I can be shy sometimes, especially when it comes to camera. Not everyone likes a camera pointed at them. But this guy, his name was Henry. He was a neighbor of mine in Fairview, and he would just kind of like wander over and kind of just talk to me from time to time. And I think this day I think this is like maybe like one of the first times I met him, because like I was having a garage sale. So I was like hanging out for an extended amount of time in my yard. And so he would come over and he would talk to me for like a while. And then he's like, he bought something, and then he'd leave, and then he'd come back about like 10 minutes later and like start talking some more, and then like buy something else. And then eventually I think I gave him like a dartboard and was like, "You can just have this, dude. You seem like you want it." This is M and M is what they told me when I asked their names. I love this one. You got the pawn shop in the background. M's got a guitar. M's got a cool hat. I'm like, what's not to like here? I got these guys over in Mountain View. This is like when I was doing I had a virtual residency during the pandemic with the museum. So I was in Mountain View a lot, shooting a lot of pictures for that. And these guys were kind enough to let me take their picture. This guy's cool. He's one of the locals there at the Crossroads Bar where friends meet. I met this guy. His story, did I put the thing? I don't know if I got that. We might see him again later, but he's got like a bunch of balloons that are in a bag that I guess he just found in a dumpster, was his story, and he was going off to give it to his girlfriend. So, and like I was just very attracted to that, the thing that he was walking with there. So I got his picture, and he's got some sort of cat eye like contact lens in his right eye there. And then we got John the Flower guy. So this is like one of the times I, like I said, like he would pose like with people, but like I never was able to get him to like, otherwise, take a picture. They actually use this for the mural that's in Spinard that they did of him. So this is like what they based it on this picture. So that's kind of cool. We got Low Dust over here. This is like this wall had like a bunch of crappy graffiti on it for like a long time, and then finally him and some other artists like were able to kind of jazz it up a bit, and that's still there. Sometimes people ask you to take your pictures, like, which is like kind of unusual. Like I don't like this lady saw me like taking pictures. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm taking pictures." She's like, "Are you a photographer?" I'm like, "Kind of." And she's like, "Do you want to take my picture?" I'm like, "Sure." Why not? Nobody ever asked me that. Actually, that's not true. This other lady you're about to meet. Hey, we got BMAC. Give a shout out for BMAC, Brian McMillan, local legend here. This lady also, so I was just taking the picture of Lotus doing the graffiti wall there, and she also asked me to take her picture. I said, sure. But she was just more direct about it. She's like, you should take my picture. I said, okay. How are you gonna say no? So I'm showing you this picture to show you the next picture. This is like a nice one. That's like behind the Shell station. We got these great rusty cars over here, and they're looking pretty awesome. So I'm there. I'm taking the knee. I'm doing my shot, like trying to get my low angle. And as I hear from time to time, like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just taking pictures of your sweet cars. He's like, oh, you're like a photographer. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. You could say that. He's like, it's a real camera, huh? I'm like, yeah, yeah, it's a camera. Yeah. It's like I was shooting with the Fuji X Pro 3 that day. And he was very excited about that. So he invited me into his house to take a picture of him and his quote unquote old lady. So that's Red and his old lady there. And I don't think I never shared this one on social media. But like it was pretty cool little experience there, kind of meeting these people. So this is back to the Rainbow Sushi, but now this is like kind of excerpts from like when I did Disposable Anchorage. This is a zine I did entirely on disposable camera, and I should have brought that one with me. I don't know why I didn't, but I can show you a picture again later. Like the cover was made to look like a disposable camera, and it says Disposable Anchorage, and I photoshopped in the Anchorage seal over like where it would have said Kodak before. But yeah, so that's a weed shop now. That's a weed shop now. Yep, that's a weed shop too. Guess what? No, it's not a weed shop. I don't know what's there, but that used to be the black market. They used to. I don't know if any of you guys like grew up here, but this is like where they used to be the local head shop over here. So as teenagers, I go get stuff that that you would get at those kind of places. Yep, continuing the disposable shots here. David Green. I'm surprised that's not a weed shop. It must be in worse shape than I think it is. Like it's gotta just be Fright Night. Who grew up with Fright Night Haunted Manor, huh? Anybody? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Mountain View Car Wash. consulate. We don't have the Mexican consulate anymore. That is actually like right outside this door where the accident, and that building's been hit so many times by cars. And there was an accident here today, and everyone's like, yep, that's a bad corner. Yep, like we all, yep, like I guess those guys didn't get the message though. Like, slow down at 6 and C. All right, so here's the rate my setup. Pretty simple, but I had been developing for like almost 3 years, and I think I only recently realized that somebody smarter than me might have put developer in green and the Blix in red, because that would be like kind of a start and go, a go and stop, you know. But you know, hey, it's all right. I like this. This one turned out great. I think this is like on my Nikon FG, and just the colors are, it just really pleases me, like how old this picture looks. Even though it's only like 2 or 3 years old, but it really got the Westmark in the background, and it really gives me those 60s kind of colors there. I'm been a big fan of this place here, the Sunset Manor. It's like another one that I'm like, how do I capture this? And I think I'm not there yet, but we have the dog in front, and he kind of adds a little bit of character. So I'll keep taking pictures as that thing. We got Valdez over here. Got a little kind of shadow, little experiment. This is also from the mountain view shots that I was taking there earlier. I like these trees because they're pressed like right up against that wall. It's really hard to like that's another one that's kind of hard to capture. Oh, here we go. People ask me, but what are you working on now? So I got a knock knock joke for you. Knock knock. Dishes. This is your life. So there's just a sneak peek there, but yeah, I got a lot of dishes that I do on a daily basis. So in addition to 35 millimeter, I recently, about a year, I picked up a Rolleiflex about a year ago, and I've been entering the world of medium format, and it's just really cool. I didn't, I'm gonna have to plug in now. I should have done that sooner.
What was that? Was that Valdez or Whittier?
Which, I'm sorry, I said Valdez, but it was Whittier. Man, good call. Good call, caller. Oh, will we make it? Oh man. So medium format 120 film. I really love the quality of the images that are here. It just really, hopefully I make it through this here in the next minute, but if I cut out inadvertently, I totally told Young, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. This thing will make it like 45 minutes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Switching over. There. Yeah, it's fun. It's like, yeah, it's what happens. You do live. Did it? Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Unfortunately, we got it plugged in, so you have to listen to me for a little bit longer. All right. Like I was saying, really love the image quality of 120 film. I didn't know till like I actually did it, started shooting these myself, like how good it could really be. That little sunset in Grumman Hill. I really love this. Is like another one of those things where like I'm just blown away by this image, but I'm like, I don't think this hits with everyone the same way it hits with me. But like for me, this is like one of those ones where I'm like, this is amazing. Another car. This looks great. This is at the Northway Mall. Nothing like a good RV fire survivor. I also shot this on 35, but like I think the framing, in addition to like the image quality, like really just pops here. So good. So I'm into the Polaroids here. My mother passed away in 2021, and one of the things that she left behind was a Polaroid camera. Another quick story about my mom before I say anything else. When I did my very first show with Ryan Chernikoff, we did it out North Theater, and it was a really big turnout. It was a great show. We had bands, and it was a really cool event. It was a lot of fun. And my mom and dad came, and my mom was there, and she's looking around, and in like the nicest like mom way possible, like not mean or anything. She says, "Why don't you put up something nice?" Because you've been here already with me for a little while, so you've seen my work, which is usually what I say to people when they want to hire me for something. I'm like, "You've seen my work though, right?" So my mom said, "Why don't you put up something nice?" So with that in mind, I put this little zine together, and I think I passed it around earlier, in the title of which was called Something Nice. And I did that for mom on her old Polaroid camera. And so that didn't make the final cut. So I don't know how that got in here. I mean, it's cool, but but I kind of stuck with the more. I don't think that made the final cut either. So this bank right here, I was talking about this, and I'm bringing it back because this is something that I don't know why I didn't make it in there, but it was like I have a lot of memories growing up with my mom, like driving to this bank and just sitting in the car, because that's like in the 80s you could do that, just like leave your kid in the car. And I remember being there, like kind of just like waiting there for like what seemed like hours, like I'm sure it was like 20 minutes or whatever, but I remember just kind of on a regular basis going to this bank, and I just that gold like just like will just be with me to the day I die, like the way that like the light hits it and bounces off of it. And I don't know, it's I guess I'll be pretty bummed if they ever tear that place down. That's my mom and my daughter right there. And yeah, that got us. I got to the end of the slideshow there, so that's something. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks, kid. All right, I don't know.
You can take any questions if you guys have questions.
Did you ever find anybody sitting on your sofas?
I never saw anybody. I mean, I saw evidence just like from like little marks. Yeah, you got like the whiz, but I never saw anybody. No, I guess I would just keep in different hours.
There used to be a sofa on the Glen by.
Oh yeah, they would hang out there and wave it. They would hang out and wave on there. Yeah, that was a famous one. I wish I can go back in time and kind of just like go for that, like just like get the people.
Someone is asking, any photographers that inspire you?
I'm not really good with names. But I do have a saying. I think it's Greg Faraday. He does like a lot of he did like a lot of film like stuff in Japan, like in the 70s and 80s. And I'm a big fan of that guy. Where are we at? Hey, all right, I'm on still. Yeah, I think Greg Faraday is his name. And I'm really bad with names of like some of these other photographers that I kind of see. So I don't have anybody else, but he's like the number one guy because I see his stuff. And my Japan picture, I went to Japan about 9 years ago, and like that was like part of the 50,000 photos that were lost, was like a bunch, like a big dump of like the Korea and Japan shots. So but I see his stuff on a regular basis, and just his volume, because like thinking that he shot analog back in the 70s and 80s, and he's still posting these things like fresh stuff every day. And I'm like, man, he must have been insane, because he's just like got so much physical media of this stuff that he still had. Oh, I'm sure it's all scanned now, but the fact that he held on to that stuff and like still did it, and it blows my mind. Yeah. Anybody else? Oh, hey, how you doing?
What camera do you use in the evening, and what formal do you purchase for that?
So anything evening, like I want to get like 800 or like higher, but you can do like lower, like you can go shoot with the 4, but you're just going to depend on the camera more. So get your tripod for sure. You got to have that, and then you're going to want something that that can probably like shoot with bulb, you're gonna need that attachment, or just like, like you just like gonna crank it all the way, as low as you can go for like the longest amount of time, like your shutter speed there.
What settings am I using?
Well, for like, I mean, kind of just depends, like, so if you got like 800 film, you want to, depending on how close up your subject is, you want to adjust your aperture kind of based on that. But like, you're going to probably want it like more open, so it's going to be low on your aperture. And then like your exposure is going to be like also low. You're going to, try to get like, I don't know, depending on the thing, like if you can get like a 2-second thing or more, there's going to be a lot of experimentation that's going to happen there, to kind of to get you where you want to be on those ones right there. Cause those are tricky. The night shots on film, especially, and then you can kind of practice these things too with your digital, but when you do it on the digital, just like crank your ISO down. So like it would mimic a film. So you can like crank it down to like 400, and then you can kind of practice. If you have it, you can like kind of practice with that, and that'll give you like a good idea. Cause that's like kind of like how I got to like where I wanted to be. Like as far as like those night shots go, is to kind of practice that. And you can also get like light meters, like apps too, like for your phone. And that'll kind of like give you like a good idea, like where your dial should be there. And as far as like what camera I use, like for like night, it would probably be like the Nikon FG, is the one I probably use as far as the SLRs go. And that's the only one I would actually like, because the other one I'm like, right now I'm shooting also mostly on my rangefinder, which is a Context G1, which can do night shots, but it's like a little thing like this. So it's like, it's not something that I ever dream about. Like I mean, I guess I could put a tripod on there too. Yeah, Nikon FG, which is not a spectacular camera. There are definitely better cameras, but I like it as an all-around camera. It does it takes great day shots. I can get away with some night shots too. If I got like some pretty decent lenses that I can put on there too. So yeah. But if you're willing to spend more, you can always spend more and get like you can like get yourself up to like, just like the straight F series, which is like kind of like the more higher end stuff. And anything that's older than like I want to say F4 still is kind of affordable. If you could find one in good shape, you can get like something like I think anything older than F4 is like, I want to say under like $400. But once you get like into the newer stuff like the F5, F6, and like when I say newer, like I think like the F6 they just stopped making in 2019 or something like that. That's like a $2,000 kind of body only kind of camera kind of thing, but will do like cool stuff that you want it to do. Anybody else? Conti.
Did you ever get to meet Stephen? I think his name is Sesniewski or something like that. What is it? Yeah. He passed away not too long ago, but he was kind of like a
Fairbanks?
Yeah, Fairbanks and Anchorage.
I was Instagram friends with him.
Okay.
Yeah, we were Instagram. We never met in person, but like we did talk a little bit like over Instagram. So like that's mostly how I knew him.
Okay.
So yeah.
He had like kind of blogs and websites that were sort of just documents of neighborhoods and times and places.
That was, yeah, and a lot of that I didn't know when he was still alive. Like it was like, I didn't know how deep his work went until he died. And I was like, oh my God, he did all this stuff. Like, that's really cool. Like I had, like we were just kind of like, just Instagram friends, just like, and then, kind of just saw, I think he was not shooting it. Like he was doing like, just like more like iPhone kind of stuff, like kind of towards the end, like just, he went way, I had no idea. Yeah. I didn't know until he died, unfortunately, because like
in a way it seems like you're kind of documenting places and buildings and
I kind of feel that like that's
evidence of people more than the people themselves.
The landmarks, just like the way that time has affects structures and time arrow only marches forward, it's and that's I do that's kind of how I see myself too. It's kind of like like more of documenting. Like it's for me it's artistic and it's it's kind of like this like kind of a meld. Like a lot of times I see it as like art, and then like the other time like this is just like me being very practical, going back, taking a picture of this building or this bus again and again and again, and just kind of seeing what's different. Like,
Yeah.
And there's different ways to kind of do that, but yeah.
When I first came up here, I noticed the mattresses on the Glen Highway.
Oh, yeah.
And how they melt out and they kind of look like mesas.
Oh, that's, yeah.
I stopped and photographed a few of them, but I couldn't ever keep that up.
Yeah, it's hard. It's, yeah.
To stop on the highway.
Yeah. There was one in Mountain
Really
View.
good mattresses.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Mattresses are, they're like pretty close tie with the couches. I think there's just more variety in the couches, which kind of keeps me kind of coming back, like just like a lot more shapes and colors and sizes and just where mattress, like, I mean, it's harder to find like a pink mattress. Like they're usually kind of the same color, but when you get a good one, it's like, that's what does it for me. I'm like, oh man, this one's got paisley. It's great.
Yeah.
I love this. Yeah.
Nice work.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here, man. This was like a pleasure.
The scenes are really nice. I do like the Polaroid one.
Oh,
That
thank you.
little bump.
Thank you. Yeah, that was like, that was a real that was a special one for me. Like,
Yeah, no, it's really-
yeah.
they're
So
fun. They're very, very, very
I'm
fun.
feeling inspired. Like I said, like, I'm hoping the dish blog will be the next is, I have a couple of zine ideas that I've been keeping around for like a long time, but I think the next step is going to be the dishes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your kind words too. That was, thank you. Thanks everyone.